Welcome back, Salvage Dolls. I've got 3 more Barbies here that need some help. We've got Generation Girls today. So this one is Generation Girl Tori. She was a skater doll, and we're gonna have to fix her hair off. I mean, obviously her hair needs fixed, right? Or she wouldn't be here. She needs a wash. But like, I have to figure out how to take this down really quickly before we get her into the bath. She's got a pretty good tangle going back there. Okay, I don't want to rip it, so hopefully it just comes loose once we start washing. And then this one is also twisted up pretty good. I just want to make sure there's no like old hair ties stuck in here. That's what I thought was holding it, but because there's some bits of hair tie in a few places that are just kind of crumbling. Don't really want that going down my drain. And then we've got Generation Girl Barbie. She was Dance Party Barbie. And she had such cute hair here in the front. This one held up decently over the years. But some of these are definitely crumbling and coming off. And our last doll today here is my girl, Generation Girl Lori, I believe. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. And I forgot to look and see what her theme was. But her hair ties have held up really well over the years with these perfect little braids with the little beads at the bottom. I don't want to lose those, so I'm going to pin those up to the side. And hopefully they do okay through the hair washing. So per usual, I wash my dolls with a little bit of dish soap. I don't like the smell. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a bit strong in my opinion. I mean, if you like it, go for it, but I won't be repurchasing that one. And then I've got some fabric softener to soften and brush the hair. I got this from the Dollar Tree, super cheap. It does need to be shaken before use. And yeah, it's pretty good. Just like fresh, clean scent. It's a bit strong, but it fades pretty quickly. And then we've got our soft bristle toothbrush. You want to use this so you don't damage any of the paint on your dolls. And then a metal comb. If you guys watched my last makeover video, you would have seen me trying to use a plastic comb, and my goodness, how quickly that thing broke. So I would definitely recommend a metal comb, especially if your doll has a lot of tangles. Those plastic combs will not hold up. And she's got little painted nails. That's so cute. Not focusing very well, but they look pretty good. I don't think they're going to need any touch-ups. So both Barbie and I believe the girl's name is Laura, they both have like sewn on necklaces. So that is why I didn't take them off, just in case you were wondering. That was way too much. Something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about on the doll community too often. So I think it'd be kind of maybe worth bringing up. The same will go for dish soap, but when you get like a blue fabric softener, blue dish soap, blue laundry detergent, the blue coloring can help with brightening your whites and your lighter colored fabrics. Barbie's hair is a synthetic, you know, it's closer to being like a fabric. So maybe I'm wrong. I've got a theory, not really a way to test it, but I have a theory that using the blue stuff probably helps brighten Barbie's blonde hair. It's not going to damage your dolls with the darker hair. It's not going to affect them any. But dolls like this, I have a feeling it probably helps brighten up the blonde in their hair a little bit. I'm hoping it's just tangles, but her hair still feels gross even after getting washed twice. It just feels, it feels gummy at the end. So part of me wants to say like it's glue seepage, but I'm not really feeling it up here. It's at the end. So either somebody got something in her hair, maybe it's glue seepage. I don't know. I'm hoping it's just that tangly. So hopefully we don't have too much hair loss because it just feels like rough and tacky. But if it was glue seepage, I feel like it would be all the way up here at the scalp, and it's not. It's like down here towards the end. So if anybody has any ideas on what's going on, please let me know. Okay, we're going to start with Barbie today because I think her hair is in the best condition out of everybody, and even then it's still pretty tangly, but I think she'll go the fastest. And as always, I like to start at the ends and work my way up and holding the hair taut between my two fingers to try to keep from having too much pressure on the scalp of the doll. This will help with hair loss, hopefully, and also help with keeping strain off that neck. We don't want to break her neck doing this. "13 consistent minutes of brushing her hair later, and I think we can finally rinse her out." Okay, so her part is here on the side. Let's try and get that back in order a little bit. I really thought she didn't have any more tangles in there. That side's good. It's right here in the back. Seems to still have some tangles hanging in there. Okay, she still has some scragglies here at the bottom. We're going to trim that up. So I didn't get up into the hair really. Just those little pits that are hanging a little bit. I don't want to keep pulling at her hair. I feel like I'm just making more come out, but she's ready to dry, and then we can dress her. And dressing these girls is going to be the best part. I love their outfits, and I have most of what goes with them. Okay, up next is Laura, because I don't think she's going to take a ton of time either. Granted, her hair was feeling gross at the bottom, so we'll see how bad she is. Watch, I think Tori's gonna take the most amount of time, so I'm putting her off, but watch her like be the fastest. I don't know why they didn't go ahead and keep calling her Teresa. Like, she kind of looks like a Teresa to me. Like, if I was just to like see her in the store or wherever without knowing her name, like I would think she was a Teresa. But her name is Laura. So we've got the braids up front separated. Now she has much less hair, like it's much shorter compared to Tori and Barbie. So for that alone, it's much less to work on. And her hair feels so much softer here at the bottom after soaking in conditioner. Well, fabric softener. So hopefully she goes pretty quickly. You always want to start with your wide mouth tooth comb first, and then the very last is your thin comb, and you'll do much less damage on your doll doing it that way. And the thinner comb can find any knots that maybe you've missed, but your wide mouth they're going to catch most of it. Okay, she's looking good. I'm so excited. Teresa's were always my favorite dolls. And this is how much hair she lost. She had a lot more breakage than she did fallout. And there's a chunk over here too. She had a lot more breakage than she did fallout, which you can see stuck on my sink here. Okay, I took the other two off to dry to kind of thin out what all we had going on in here. And we're on to our last doll. Hopefully we can get her done and drying before I have to go pick my kid up from preschool. She's just a ratted mess. Oh, and I see there's like crimping in her hair. That's so fun. I hope we don't lose that by brushing it, because I don't know how I would ever crimp that tiny of sections. The crimper I have is like huge. Well, it's for people, but I don't think I could ever get that kind of crimp in her hair again. Oh, that went under my fingernail. That hurt. When I get dolls this hard to brush out, all I can think is that she must have been so well loved by whatever child had her. And she must have been played with so much for her hair to be this tangly. It's like brushing out all of her memories in her past life. And it's almost bittersweet to think that the next person she goes to, because I do sell these dolls on Facebook, the next person she goes to will probably be an adult doll collector, more than likely. And so the rest of her life, or at least the next good chunk of it, will be sitting on a shelf. And it's almost bittersweet. I mean, on one hand, she's going to be appreciated and looked at and be pretty again. But on the other hand, like I said, we're like brushing out her past life and her previous owner and all the playtime they had together. But hey, dolls live longer than people. So whoever gets her next, never know. She could get passed on to a child or a grandchild, inherited by somebody else in the family at some point. Who knows? She could end up getting played with again. And then somebody else will have to brush out all the memories. It's so interesting to me how her hair has just stayed in these pigtails even after the wash and the brushing. They know their place. They have not come away from it. She's actually coming much more quickly than I thought she would. We're 6 minutes into brushing. So we're making good time. Barbie took us 13 minutes and she had quite a lot of tangles. So we'll see if Tori can beat Barbie in the time. And she just soaked up that fabric softener I put in her hair. I don't even feel it. It's not the least bit soapy or slimy feeling. Her hair really needed the moisture. I'm still going to rinse it, but she just soaked it right in. And if you are new to my channel, she was in my very first doll haul. These Barbies I bought from a lady who was selling her daughter's childhood dolls. I bought all of them for 50 bucks. There was quite a few. And I've just been working on making them look good, which is my hobby. I enjoy making Barbies look pretty again and then filming it for you guys. And then I list them on Facebook, and there's a lot of adult doll collectors on there. And they go find new homes. And I love the 90s Barbies because that's what I grew up with. I was born in 1990 and kind of outgrew Barbies around 98, 99. So that's all the dolls I had, really. I had one my mom gave me that was hers from the 60s. But otherwise, I played with the 90s Barbies. So that's what you're going to see a lot on this channel because that's what I like. But I've picked up some newer dolls at Goodwill that you guys will be seeing in hauls coming up here in the next couple of weeks. And here's a fun little tidbit. As I'm brushing her hair, you may notice that I'm constantly putting my finger underneath of her hair and brushing along my finger. And that might look a little funny, and you know, why you're doing that doesn't give much support. For me, it's more out of habit than anything else. I worked for, I don't know, several years as a dog groomer. And when I was training, doing my apprenticeship for dog grooming, I was told when you're doing a dog's like hair, tail, anything like that, did I say hair, ears? I did a lot of Shih Tzus. When you're combing out their ears, particular, if you have your finger underneath, and this is more towards not just using a metal comb, but also using like the slicker brushes. If you're brushing against your hand, then you know how much pressure you're putting on, and you know you're not hurting the dog. Because those metal little combs and the brushes, the slicker brushes, can be quite sharp. And so if you're brushing the dog's fur and sometimes their skin along with your hand when applicable, you'll know what pressure you're using, and you'll know you're not hurting the dog. So that's more just out of habit. It doesn't do anything for the Barbie. The Barbie doesn't care how much pressure I'm using. Though I guess maybe it's good because it cuts back on the pressure I'm using on the neck, maybe, and how much pulling I'm on the hair. I don't know. I don't know that it really matters for Barbie, but if you've ever wondered why I'm always sticking my finger out, it's less to do with support of the hair, though it does kind of help support the hair as I'm brushing it out, but it's more to do with habit. And it does kind of hurt my finger, if I'm being honest. 1,000 tiny scratches. It does kind of get to it, but again, it's habit. It doesn't really bother me. Kind of used to it just because I did it for so many years, but I will have a touch of a sore finger after. I'm kind of debating, like, I don't know. I don't think I need to brush it all together for dry. I think I'm just going to leave it separated because I'm going to put her back in her original hairstyle anyways. And that is just going to make my life that much easier to not have to repart her hair because it looks pretty good. Hey guys, so our girls are all dry. It's been actually like 2 days. They've just been hanging out here on my counter. So let's go ahead and do their hair and I'll give you guys a big reveal. But first, I think we can just go ahead and do a reveal on our Laura. And here's our Laura doll in her first outfit. It is incomplete. She would have had an overshirt on top of the bandeau. Honestly, I'm surprised that they went with the sparkly blue bandeau with this. But what I was finding online, correct me if I'm wrong, this was the correct undershirt, which I find interesting because our dance party Barbie has the exact same bandeau top. There would have been clear elastics on it as well. Those rotted off over the years, but this holds up just fine as is. Her arm warmers are in great condition, which is exciting. She's got a cute little purple tassel purse here, also in really good condition. I did notice her skirt has a small rip at the hip, so I will have to fix that later. I would have done it before we started filming this. I just realized when I went to get her dressed, so I'll do that off screen. And then she also came with a super cute little pillow that matches. And then she also has a couple of little candles. Every time I see this one, I think of Winnie the Pooh's honey pot, but like purple. And then this one is like a butterfly, but it has 3 wings on it. It's kind of neat. And here's our Laura doll's last outfit. I think it's very cute, and the purple in the leaves down here do tie into her necklace, but I feel like the necklace matches the first outfit considerably better than this one. So I don't know. I feel like maybe they could have reworked this one a little bit. And then she also has a few artist supplies. So I guess maybe on the back of the box or something, there are some pictures you could cut out in color for Laura to have because she's supposed to be like kind of artsy. And then there was also a clipboard. It would have been nice if these clips were functional so that you could hang the poster on there, but they're not, unfortunately. And then she would have came with two paintbrushes, one orange and one blue. I only have the orange one, but something's better than nothing. But there is our Laura. Let's go ahead and get started on Barbie's hair. Sorry, the lighting's not the best over here, especially with me trying to be here blocking the light. But let's start on her hair. So she has two little bubble braids that go down the front, and she also has a chunk of hair that wraps around underneath. So let me see if I can figure out what direction this all needs to go in. Okay, I feel like this might be a little bit hard to film, so I'm gonna try to explain it. So I've got this piece of hair right here sectioned off. I'm gonna wrap that around the back of the neck here, and then I'm joining it back here with a little chunk of hair to basically make a little tiny pony at the nape of her neck, just to connect. Maybe we'll do a little less hair. Suppose we do, is that gonna be enough? I feel like she had more than that. I also feel like these are kind of trying to separate. Okay. Like so. And we can tie that in the back. Okay, we've got the little back pony. I think it could have went over a smidge more than where I ended up with it. And this might be a little bit thicker maybe than what she would have had originally, but we are pretty darn close. Now I'm going to take these sections up here that have her little brown, what do you call those, highlights? I'm not sure. These little sections right up here are going to make her bubble braids. And she has 3 sections per little braid. And here's the grand reveal on our Barbie. I really tried to film doing these bubble braids for you guys, but it turned out to be trickier than I thought it would be. Part of it is that my elastics are just a little bit too big, so it took a lot of looping, but also I had to hold the doll between my knees while I worked with her hair, because if I held her too wrong, like the first time, it ended up going in a weird direction. And then I got it tangled in her hair a couple times. I had to cut out hair ties. So it turned into a whole process. But at the end, I think it looks pretty good, pretty close to the original. And I'm overall happy with it. I love her outfit. I think it's super funky. You can see the blue bandeau underneath of her sheer top, which would have originally had elastics, but these ones rotted off as well. She also would have had a camera with a camera strap. Unfortunately, this doll only has the camera case, but hey, something's better than nothing. And she's got these funky green pants that have, I don't know if they're, I think they're supposed to be like faux zippers down the side here. And so then they flare out on both sides. She also has this neat little wraparound bag that's kind of fun. And then I love her sparkly platform shoes. How fun are those? They are not fun, however, to snap in the back. They're kind of a pain. I feel bad for whoever who was manufacturing these and if they had to snap a bajillion of those by hand every day, but they're super cute shoes and I love how she turned out. Okay, we're gonna try this as a means of filming because I'm having to use my legs to support these dolls. So we've got one pigtail completed. It's not horrible. I don't like how it's kind of popping out there on the sides where I've got it tucked in. I can try to maybe get it to pull towards the back a little bit better. But otherwise, I think we did the wraparound pretty decently. It's not too hard to do, but it did take a little bit of figuring out how to kind of get it all tucked in there. Though I will say I probably wrapped it a little bit tighter than I should have. I don't know that I can really loosen that up now that I've got everything tightened in like I do. Just kind of tug on it a little bit. Maybe that'll kind of help kind of loosen up her her twists here a little bit. but I also don't want to mess them up. But there we go. I'm pretty happy with how that side's looking. So let's see if we can get the other side to match up. And I really wish I would have pulled that further back. So I've already got the pigtail done. I've just separated the like bottom row of hair out here on the underside. And so what I'm gonna do next is take this hair here, support her, and I'm doing this kind of opposite of myself. Maybe I can twist it and you guys can still kind of see. I'm gonna split the hair. Hopefully you guys can see. I gotta face it to myself. I'm not the best at doing hair in the least. So I'm kind of splitting the hair right at the peak of her ear. If you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. So right at the peak, and then I'm gonna twist this strand one way away from her head, and then this strand I'm gonna twist towards her head, and we're just gonna do a whole lot of that. In the background, my cat has found a toy to play with, so that's what you hear going on. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and he is just, it's the witching hour for him. He is just into everything and kind of being an asshole, but I mean, he'll be a year old in June, and it's currently the very end of May. So what do you expect from a cat that age? They're ornery at this stage, if we're being honest. So just lots of twisting all the way down. Twist and twist and twist. Okay. I'm going to bring it down as far as I can to the bottom and kind of pull it a little bit towards the back, because I find wrapping it around the back part instead of going forward with it, at least for the other side, looked better. And then bring it down towards the end, because I want to give as much of this as I can, and then running the elastic around. Like I said, I think my elastics are just, I got them from the Dollar Tree, and I think I did. It might have been Dollar General. There's just too much to them. The upside, they're not breaking, but they're just like forever going. But I think that's enough to hold this in place for the moment, because we're going to end up taking this one back out anyways. And then we're just going to kind of help it twist all back up together. That way, when we do this little poof, in theory, they'll kind of separate out a little bit. So we're just going to bring it on around and kind of loosen it a smidge. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of a lump to it. So having it go the back way first, I mean, it's the braid, and I guess it's kind of part of the look, but I feel like it looks a little bit better. So do a couple of loops, and then this last loop here, we're gonna find a place to tuck it up within itself, so kind of come out loose. So you got like a little spot there to make a loop, and then pull this banded part through, just like so. And then since I didn't do it on the other side, I'm just gonna keep pulling this banded part and I'm maneuvering it until it's at the back. And then we'll work on taking the elastic out and incorporating it into the pigtail. So hopefully that is good enough. And then I'm just gonna take this elastic off, and hopefully we don't get too tangled up in her hair. We got tangled up the last side. It's kind of a pain. And my nails are just shot right now, guys. Like, I was doing fake nails, like the press-ons, and I did them for a couple of weeks because I had slammed one of my fingernails at a car door. If you've seen my earlier videos, I kind of mentioned it. My finger looks almost normal now, which is so exciting, but it was busted looking, and it was snaggly and catching on everything and broken, and just, it was bad. So I was doing the fake nails to try to, like, oh, we broke one, to kind of protect my nail and make it feel normal, so I didn't have to constantly wear band-aids, because like I said, my fingernail was just constantly catching on everything. So I'm just incorporating this to the back of the pigtail here, and just taking another elastic, and we're going to try to get this elastic to tuck up underneath. You don't got to do it right away, but like when you tighten it, it'll slide up underneath of that braided portion. But anyways, yeah, I was doing that to protect that particular nail. And first off, kudos to you who wear those all the time. I don't know how you do it in function. I feel like it was so difficult to just do daily tasks with these giant nails on my fingers. Beautiful as they may have been, not practical. And then Anyways, secondly, I feel like they just jacked my nails up, like from doing them for several weeks, made them brittle, made them cracking. They're finally kind of getting back to normal. It's been a little while. Like I said, this one's almost back to normal. Just from getting slammed in a car door. I would not recommend that experience. But then like my thumbs are cracking still at the ends from the nails. The rest of them are looking pretty good. Oh, dang it. We still ended up with this piece in the front. But anyways, those fake nails just wrecked my natural nails. And so when it comes to like adjusting stuff, like I've got nothing to pull or grip with, like just my fingertips. And that's like not enough. Like I need my nails back, like my real nails. So anyways, right now I'm just kind of fluffing this out and trying to adjust. And then hopefully when she's displayed, we can just kind of get this funky bit to just kind of tuck under. I'm not sure how I managed both sides to be like that, but there we have it. Pretty happy with the way her hair turned out. And here's our Tori doll all finished. This was kind of like her secondary outfit. Like Laura had two outfits. She had a dress and then she had, you know, the skirt outfit. Tori would have had pants, a shirt, and then the jacket she's wearing. I only have the dress and the jacket. But you know, it works. It's very short. And then she also would have like had a skateboard, and a few other things. She had quite a few accessories. We do have her cassette player, which I think would have hooked onto her pants. She's not holding it very well, but I do think it's fun that they put a little washer in there that looks like a CD. So that's kind of neat. I added her a little necklace just because I thought it looked good with the outfit. She has her original doll stand, which I'll be honest, it kind of sucks. It wants to tip her over if I stand her up straight. So trying to keep her with her original gear, but this doll stand's not great. And then the shoes are add-ons. I got them off a doll from Goodwill, but I think they look really good on her. I do have one of her original shoes, which sucks. It would have been awesome to have had both, but oh well. I think the yellow shoes are a good replacement. They look nice, and they're a nice tie-in with her yellow CD player. And there we have it, guys. Our My Generation Girl dolls are all fixed up and ready to go on to new homes. If you want to see more pictures of them, go check out my Instagram. I'm not sure I've mentioned it yet, but I post pictures of each of the dolls over there for you guys to check out later on. Laura, I did go ahead and give some replacement shoes to. I don't think I mentioned those. Not quite a color match, but I liked how they had the butterflies on the back. I thought that was a nice little ode to her butterfly candle. So I thought they were a decent match. I think they look pretty good. So I'm happy with how they turned out. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed. Come hang out with me in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I really just appreciate the engagement. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love to get to 1,000 subscribers, and hope to catch you guys in my next video.